Hello, I'm Voiding, and I'm going to get right into it. This is a tutorial on how to use my 11 block quarry. I'm not going to bother going over the changes, you can probably already spot those. So first of all, you load the schematic. The schematic is in the description of this video. You can also find it in TMC, the Slimestone archive, and maybe later you'll find it in the public archive at Epsilon SMP. But for now, we're going to make the trenches. So the trenches, you have a main trench, 2 side trenches, and the bottom trench. So the main trench is 19 blocks wide. So starting from the top layer, go from this observer, and then like down, and then over here. So basically, it's like you go out from this place terracotta, and then down 4, and then that's where you'll start, and then you go 19. And that's 19 blocks out. You'll notice that it's 1 block out from this flying machine. So you want to dig out that so the slime doesn't stick to the wall as it flies down. So that's that side trench, or that's the main trench, 19 blocks wide. You also want to make at least one wide side trenches. I recommend just using a trencher for those. You already, you probably, already know that. Just use a 3 wide side trencher. And you do have to make the second one just to be safe. You could remove this slime. It's in the schematic. You don't need the slime. You can remove it anyways, but the slime is not the reason why you need it. You need the second side trench because water can spill in from the side, and that can fuck up these block grabbers, so you don't want that to happen. So make the side trenches on both sides. Next, just run a tunnel bore at the bottom, making a clearance of 7 blocks. So this should be the bottom, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then above that is the area that the quarry is going to be removing. So next, you want to remove any non-movable blocks like obsidian, crying obsidian from ruined portals, chests and spawners, and anything else that might have been placed by other players on your server if you are playing on one. So make sure to remove all of that. So once you've dug all the trenches, built the quarry itself in survival, and removed all the non-movable blocks, I want to make a few extra notes. These armor stands for the water system have Frostwalker 2 boots on them. So if I grab these boots, see if I can grab them. They are Frostwalker 2. So you want to make sure that all of them have Frostwalker 2 boots, not Frostwalker 1, not Frostwalker 3. Then you gotta make the water stream, so I recommend just like having a solid line of packed ice going down from the stairs. Should be 5 blocks away from it. And then just make the water stream. And then have whatever storage you want. For the storage, a few recommendations. I recommend making the filters 2 times hopper speed. So 2 times hopper speed, box loaders, of course. Depending on how wide you're making the core, you may want more or less filters. Just, be sure to actually test that. I can't babysit you. I can't do that testing for you, so you got to do that yourself. So, just keep all that in mind when you're making storage for the quarry. For the items that you want to save, if you're unfamiliar with quarry storages, generally a good way the good items that you want to keep, that you want to make filters for, the terracotta, all the colors, so regular terracotta, orange, light gray, white, yellow, brown, and red. All the terracotta. You don't make cobblestone filters. You can just make a cobblestone farm. You don't need to get. You don't need to make a quarry for cobblestone, so just don't bother filtering that. You can make it for the ores if you don't have good farms for that. So if you don't have a good gold farm, iron farm, with your skeleton farm, you can make. You can make filters for those. Even if you do have good farms, you may think maybe it wouldn't hurt to store those. And also, of course, you might want to make filters for the variated stones like diorite, granite, and andesite. if you want, you can make one for lapis lazuli ore, but that's very rare. I mean, you would need to make the quarry wide enough to crash the server instantly, and long enough so that it would be running for years until you would actually need to use a box loader for lapis lazuli. So unless you're doing that, you can just have the lapis lazuli sent directly to storage. You don't need to make a box loader for them. And then for loading, make sure you load the storage, make sure you load the water stream so items don't get unloaded, and make sure you actually load the quarry. Just put a bot in this minecart. I've put bots in the TNT duper minecart, and for some reason that makes them unstable. On very, very, very rare occasions, doing that can cause a TNT duper to explode. I think. At least, a TNT duper exploded, and it happened to be the one TNT duper in the entire thing that I put a bot in, and that's not great. So it's a very rare occurrence, but it can happen. So if you're willing to take my word for it, just put it in this minecart. If you think I'm full of shit and you think I'm just being paranoid, then you can just put it in the TNT minecart, see if I care. Then to start the quarry, this time I actually attached a fence gate there, so you don't need old flint and steel behavior to activate it. If you want, you can just remove the fence gate. You don't need it. You can just use leaves, or you can turn on old flint and steel behavior and use a flint and steel. Either way, I don't give a shit how you activate it. Just activate it somehow. So you can just click this fence gate, and that'll turn it on. Make sure that you don't spam it, obviously. Otherwise, it will probably break. Make sure that, if you turn it back off and you want to turn it back on and the block grabber is still moving, wait until the TNT system stops firing. Wait until the block grabbers arrive back and at the station, and wait until the TNT system stops firing, and then turn it back on. Don't turn it on too early, because then this flying machine can get out of sync, and then that could cause the block grabbers to either get stuck in midair or crash into the ground. Also, don't use this switch to turn it off if the moving sequence is going to go. So if the block grabbers activate the final return station, and then this flying machine is flying up and activates a moving sequence, you don't want this in the off state. You want it in the on state when that moving sequence starts. If you really need to stop the quarry for whatever reason, you can just place a redstone block next to one of these sticky pistons and a safety wire, and that will, once the block grabbers arrive, the quarry will not move forward. It will just stop. And if once you fix whatever you need to fix, like a stuck block grabber or something, then you can just remove that redstone block, and then the moving sequence will continue, and the quarry will start again. And then once the quarry has moved forward and the block grabbers are moving down, then you can stop the quarry again. And that concludes my lightning fast tutorial on how to use the quarry. So this is the first time ever that I can actually recommend my quarry to people. If you need a quarry, if you need an 11 block quarry, I can actually recommend that you use mine, rather than being uneasy and like, maybe you shouldn't use mine, maybe you should use Kazammer's instead. No, this I can actually be confident about this quarry and say that this is actually worth using for the first time. So and even then, just think about all the wasted time and effort that I put into this quarry. If you don't use it, then you're just a jerk, because I put a lot of time and effort. Think about that. Think about the time and effort I put into this quarry, and think about how that would be wasted if you used Kazammer's quarry instead. All right, and if you don't use my quarry, you're a fucking nerd. Anyways, thanks for watching.